Welcome. This is the Treasures of Life show, and my name is Jonas Simba. I'm privileged to have you today. Treasures of Life show is your show to empower you. My sign language interpreter is none other than Maureen Juguna. How was your week? How have you been? Where have you been? What have you been up to? My business with you is only one. What is the state of your emotions? Have you been through things that have messed your emotions? We need a lot of positive emotions in us. And that is why Treasures of Life show is here to empower you emotionally. Well, I hear some people say they are unemotional, especially phlegmatics. But then, even phlegmatics can be controlled by emotions. Unemotional as they may be, they can be controlled very badly by emotions. And I'm talking about emotions like anger, jealousy, envy, malice, all those emotions. Allow me to just consider an angle that maybe you need to take to tone down on hatred. Are you experiencing hatred? What is hatred? Let me pause for a moment and ask you, my viewer, what is hatred? Well, the vocabulary description of hatred is intense dislike. And I'm trying to be dramatic as I'm explaining that intensity. Intense dislike. You know, there are things that may build up, and you may not realize that they are actually building up in you. And soon or later, you discover that you have an intense dislike for somebody. Yes, it is dangerous to hate. I always talk about the importance of positive emotions, the emotions of love. Love is not easy. It may be the opposite of hate, but it is the best emotion that you can ever have in you. Even as I'm talking to you about toning down on hatred today, let me remind you that there are things you may have to do deliberately. Well, I don't know whether to pass across my opinion, but I'm encouraging you to just operate in wisdom. Listen to me in wisdom. Take what you can take. What you feel is a bit heavy, ponder on it, meditate on it, and think through it. Then ask yourself, are you going to pick it or not? I once met a man, and this man explained to me a few things. I did not buy everything that he was saying, but I felt like that was a very interesting way for him to deal with hatred in his home. This is somebody who is married, already working with his spouse. But he told me he's starting to feel emotions that are not love. Did you know that marriage ni kuzoeana? Okay, for those who are not Kenyans, or for those who can't understand Swahili, kuzoeana means getting used to each other. There is a place you reach and you have to learn how to just get along and get used to each other. Mazoea. But as you get to learn to be with each other, you have to keep that fire burning. What brought you together? Because if you're not careful, that emotion of love can turn into dislike. And what is dislike? Dislike, you're just explaining hatred. So he was telling me that he has decided to take his marriage like a place where he has something that he needs and he has something to give. You see, when you feel that so much is being taken out of you and you're receiving nothing, then you're in danger. Start demanding. Find a way of demanding. That's what he was telling me. Find a way of demanding what you need in a marriage. Well, he told me as a man, maybe he needs his clothes to be washed, his dishes to be washed. You are not marrying a house help, but those are some of the things that you may have to need in a marriage. Even if it's not for the dishes to be washed, you may need good food. You may need something in that marriage, you know. So he was explaining to me, start demanding a few things in your marriage. And he told me that the more he started looking like he was not missing anything, he got used to getting used. But then he told me he has an obligation. He decided also to look at his marriage like an obligation. He has to take the children to school. He has to take his wife to the salon. And then he also looked at his partner and he thought that my partner has a role to play in this marriage. And he took a step and shared with that partner and said, do you realize your role in this marriage is actually to ensure that I am happy? Your obligation is to ensure that the kids are well, they are happy, they are well dressed. So he started looking at the obligations he has and the obligation his spouse has, and they shared it. What is your role as a man so that you don't dislike the blessing that is marriage? Now I'm looking at love and hatred in the context of a marriage. But then he shared a very interesting aspect. He told me that he looks at winning his wife like a conquest. The more he looked at it like, wow, I conquered this woman, the more he felt the hero. And he kept staying in there to keep him there. That explained an aspect of men. Men always have the hunting habit, the conquest habit. They have that feeling of conquering. So he kept reminding himself that he's a conqueror. He has conquered the hearts of his wife. And to maintain the conquest, he would do many things. Take her to the salon, take her out for dinner, just so that he keeps maintaining that feeling of contest, of conquest. But then what he didn't realize is that his wife was looking at this whole thing as love making. Yes. The wife was looking at this whole thing, being taken out, being taken to the salon, doing her obligations maybe to the children and to the home. She was looking into it as love making. And the more each of them played their role, the more that family stayed stable. That is just one angle that this man shared to me. I know you have your experience, my viewer, but there are things in life that may demand that you come out of your cocoon, so to say, for lack of a better word. There are things that may be pushing you to dislike, and it may come out through your talk. What is your talk? Sometimes you may have to work hard on your language diet. Much as you loathe one or two things around you. It may be for your good that you work on your language diet, because people will read hatred out of your language diet. That is wisdom. When you know that you're feeling a dislike for somebody on the inside of you, but you're working hard rather than bringing out dislike from your speech, you are breathing care, you're breathing self-control. And I feel it. Sometimes when you're talking out of self-control, you're wise. When you feel like just coming out and giving the world a piece of your mind, but then you don't do it, that is growth. After all, anyone can spit hate. Anyone can do it. It is an instinct. Children can. Well, I've gone quite deep, but animals can. You know, when they dislike, when they are pushed by instinct. But the advantage of a human soul is that the human soul has the ability to control itself. You can control your soul emotionally. That much as you're feeling that intense dislike, you bring out care. You bring out self-control. You're patient. You bring out love. I'm talking about toning down the hate. Let me say this for 1 minute before we go for a break and I come back. When you are feeling your heart is burning, feel your body. Learn to feel your body. Learn to feel your soul, because your soul is passing some information to you, but you're in control. It is a good thing that you can like or dislike. I'm talking about toning down the hate. Have you ever experienced intense dislike for somebody? Do you think someone dislikes you with or without a reason? That's what I'm talking about. Dealing with that, disliking one another in the society. You know, it's amazing that even in our churches, in our institutions where we grow our souls, religious settings, we still experience intense dislike for one another. You may not realize that you're drifting into hatred. But in my first section, I tried to arrest dislike in the family setting, especially between a man and a woman. But let me point out here that you're privileged if you're married to a friend. You know, when you as a man look at winning your wife as a conquest, or whether your wife looks at winning you as love making, whether you operate with your obligations, and things have changed over time. We are no longer in the years where dishwashing was for women and this other role was for men. These days, people even house managers. Better word, house managers, but we are talking of house assistants, house helps. So there are many helps in the house. So those roles are slowly drifting from the spouses, from the man and the woman. But then it is a plus if you're married to a friend. I want you to look at the qualities of a friend. Many of us don't find ourselves married to friends, and that is our dilemma. You start as friends, but you don't move on as friends. How do you keep a friend? How did you win your spouse? Yes? There are things you need to do to tone down disliking one another in the family setting. When dislike comes, your family is in a mess. When dislike creeps in a society, then we have hatred creeping in. And I mentioned about language diet, how you need to work hard. I feel you grow because language diet is an expression of love. Did you know that? It is an expression of hate. Nowadays, I'm learning how to call my wife darling. It was not easy. I noticed many men find it difficult to tell their wives, I love you, especially from this part of the world. That word, I love you, is a tall order for men. And even ladies, they can say it to each other. They can say it to their children. But saying it to their spouses, to their husbands, to their boyfriends, it's a tall order. So it's a working that I'm calling on all of us to engage in. To tone down on disliking one another, we need to work on our language diet. You see, when you keep speaking positively, you're planting something. Many times when somebody does you wrong, and I'm talking of real doing you wrong, you are pushed, you are on the right. You are on the right to either revenge, to either speak badly. You are on the right. But you know what? I have learned, especially through marriage, that I may be right. But it is not so much about being right. It is peace that I'm pursuing. Are you pursuing peace? Once you keep yourself in a mission of pursuing peace, then it doesn't matter whether you're right or you are wrong. The more you pursue peace, the more you put coals of fire on the head of him that is pushing you towards hatred. You teach them. You take them through school. Come on. I don't dislike you despite what you're doing. You're doing wrong to me, but I don't dislike you. I need peace with you. But let me point out here, let it not be life-threatening. As long as your life is not in danger, pursue peace with all diligence. That is how we will tone hate in our family settings and even in our society. It is a good thing when your body sends out some information to you. You know, when you feel some information being sent from your soul, let me ask you a question. When you feel happy, who is happy? Is it your eyes, your ears, your nose, your brain? Is it your head? Is it your hands? There is a real you that is feeling the emotions. That is the person I'm addressing. Take that person to school. Teach that person that yes, you can be angry, you can be offended, but there are principles that I want to adopt as an individual. Your principle, your greatest principle should be the principle of love. If you are a Christian, I encourage you to pray. If you are a Christian, or if you're a religious person. If you're not, then I just encourage you to work hard to take your soul to school. Because the soul is not a joke. issues of life are carried in the soul. The stability of your family, the stability of your community, the issues that govern us as a society are anchored on the soul. If we have confident souls, forgiving souls, souls that are patient, souls that are full of self-control, how dangerous it is when the society is full of reckless souls. Souls that whenever they are in pain, they turn on anyone and anybody. Hurting people hurt others. And what I've learned, we are all hurting. So we have to learn to heal our wounds. When you're wounded, one of the easiest ways of getting healing is to forgive. Forgiveness will set you free. Forgiveness will heal your deep wounds. There are people that have been malicious on you out of intense dislike for you. There are people that have been motivated by malice against you. They have been motivated by emotions of strife, unnecessary competition. And it has wounded the society. For us to heal, step number one, let it go. Forgive. Take yourself on a journey of forgiveness. Just let it go. How do you deal with a situation where somebody undermines you? I know there are people that are understated, excellent people, excellent personalities. There are people who, if you give an opportunity, you'll be surprised at the depth of their resourcefulness. But then, those that are above them, for one reason or another, are busy stopping them from exercising their potential. How do you deal with that? Sooner rather than later, we will start disliking each other, even in our work settings. That is strife. Once you identify such things, take yourself on a journey. Uphold the principle of forgiveness. There is a focus. You are headed somewhere. You have a destiny to achieve. Toning down the hatred will do you good. Toning down dislike, you will be on the winning path. Authentic power demands that you forgive. People that are powerful are forgiving people. People that are powerful are people who do not walk in hatred. People of love, self-control. People that walk in humility. People that are always putting themselves in empathic situation. What I mean is, before you retort, diagnose your enemy. Why are they doing what they're doing? Take yourself on a psychology journey. If you're in that person's shoe, how would you react? You know, you're dealing with people with histories. Nobody is perfect. It is you to overcome your history. Don't bog it down on people. But once you experience baggage, people that have gone through wounds, more often than not, they may try to project it on you. Don't carry people's baggages. Forgive them. Let it go. Diagnose why they are doing what they are doing and let it go. Laugh through pain. Overcome pain. Authentic power demands that you overcome pain. I'm looking at internal wounds that are so painful. Betrayal. Oh, how painful betrayal can be. We are now walking through a season of Easter. For Christians, they would say, the Lord Jesus Christ was betrayed. It is easy to say it. Wait until you go through betrayal. Betrayal is painful. Have you been let down in a relationship? Broken relationships can be mended. They are broken hearts. But let it go for more love, for you to love somebody. Let the past relationship go. There are people that are stopping themselves, curtailing their ability to move into better relationships because they are holding on to hatred, disliking experiences of the past. Let us be futuristic. Look beyond. It is better in front. I had a saying, mbele iko sawa. Yeah? The perfect balance. I once saw such an advert. Yeah? You need to balance yourself emotionally for the sake of your own destiny. If someone broke your heart, let them go. If someone conned you of finance, monies, let them go. If someone took you through a journey of betrayal, there are lessons that you must have learned. The experiences you have gone through, what have you learned through them? You are now wiser. You need to be wiser than them that are pushing you through hatred. Because once you are in hatred, you've fallen in the trap of your enemy. Guess what? As a leader, because we are all leaders in one way or another, I'm leading somebody or somebody is leading me. For me to be the leader that needs to be emulated, the leader that is relevant, the leader that can cause a change for better in the society, I need to conquer my soul. People that conquer their souls are real leaders. They are authentic leaders, powerful leaders. It doesn't matter if you are the leader of an army. You may be the general. But if you are captivated by an emotion of fear on the inside, you may be conquering in the battlefield. You don't have the fear of battles physically. But inside of you, you are so afraid of becoming broke. So afraid of being broken-hearted by your spouse or by your girlfriend that you will commit suicide. Then you're weak on the inside. What will you do when the foundations are shaken? What will you do when your girlfriend leaves you? When your spouse leaves you? When somebody betrays you? That is the true mark of strength. The true mark of strength is in your ability to conquer negative emotions, conquering pride and lust. Imagine if you become a rapist because you didn't conquer the emotion of lust. You're weak. You need to conquer the emotion of lust so that you don't become a rapist and end up in jail and earn a negative legacy. Authentic power demands that you conquer negative emotions like hatred. Tone down the hatred through your language diet. Trust that it will be well with you. Despite what people are passing you through, despite naysayers and haters, you will make it. Tone it down. Trust. It begins in your mind. The battle of the mind. Let nobody control your mind. Let nobody manipulate your mind. Define you. What is the definition of you? Is it from people or have you defined it yourself? When you see somebody angry, when you see somebody in pride, when you see somebody moving in lust, they are in danger of walking in hatred. They are in danger of experiencing the pain of hatred, because hatred is painful. Hatred will cost. It will cost you. Meditate on the affairs of life, the issues of life. I'm talking about toning down hatred. There is a lot of hatred in the society. We need to tone it down for our own good. When hatred creeps in a society, there are some things that soon will creep in that may hurt us further. You know, when people work on relationships, when they are working on friendships, when they work on building bridges with one another, they are working on development. Broken relationships more often than not lead to poverty. Sabotage creeps in a society out of hatred. When there are broken relationships, people don't work normally. Businesses don't operate well, because there is a direct link between relationships and financial growth. When you are working against hatred, you're working on building bridges with many people. It is difficult for you to love people that you have not been trained to love. I'm talking to a society with history. Across the world, we've been through a history. As races, we've been through a history. It has been told to us as part of history that there was a time when whites and blacks were in conflict. We were told of apartheid in South Africa and intense racism in the Americas. We've been told of slavery. We've been told of how Africa was wronged when many of its citizens were taken abroad. I've been told of stories of repatriation, where countries are trying to pay Africa for taking its citizens and making them slaves. That is history. If we look into history, we will start digging on reasons why we should dislike each other as continents and as races. I'm speaking to every race that is listening to me now. Work on building bridges with one another. May it be that blacks forgive the whites. The whites forgive the blacks. Because injustices breed injustices. Hurting people hurt others. There are things that we've done to each other in the past that demands that we work hard to repair it. The devil is at work. Evil is at work. When you are left to yourself as a human being, your soul, more often than not, will be drawn towards negativity. Positiveness on the inside of you demands work. It is natural because of our evil nature that left to ourselves, we will be in anarchy, we will be in lawlessness, we will pull ourselves towards evil. But love, stable societies, futuristic societies demand that we work hard on our souls. Let us take ourselves on a journey as communities. There are things that demand that you work hard on. You may have been marginalized as a person with disabilities. You may have been wrongfully. You feel it is your right. You feel that things may have been done against you that have pushed you years back. For you to access opportunity, you need to let go. The same places where you experience marginalization, those are the same places where your opportunities are. It demands that you work on the art of doing away with self-hatred and hating of others, for you to access those places and demand what is yours. Let me speak of rights here. I keep saying it's not so much about you being right. It is about peace and building bridges. Once you build peace, once you build those bridges, you will discover that your rights are right inside peace and built bridges. Let us be wary of broken relationships. Tribe against tribe, race against race. Tone down the hatred. Tone down the hatred. It begins in the mind. Are you a slave of negative emotions in your mind? Let me address your heart, because there is a connection between your brain and your heart. Inside your heart, what lies deep inside of you stems from your brain. Mental health, your subconscious mind, the things that are spoken to you by your haters and your naysayers. It is not true. They may call you ugly. Let them go. You are not ugly. Each of us has something to offer. They may call you useless. So what? Words don't break a bone. Start working on your mental health. The things that you've read about you, it is not true. What is the content that you bring in your mind? The documentaries that you watch, social media posts that you go into, the blogs that you are on, the pictures that you're watching. What is it saying about you? What are you being fed? Are you being fed of fear, inferiority? Tone down on the negative emotions in your mind. How will I know it? It will come in how you perceive the world. Sometimes when you watch a movie about a race, you start hating that race. It is in the mind. How do you view the world? If you're a Christian, this is Easter. I encourage you to view the world with the eyes of Christ. I'm looking at energy coming through your mind, touching your forehead, your mind, your eyes, the way you look at the world. Soon it will come down to your tongue, your language diet. For no reason, you will start speaking. You will start blurting out fear, doubt about who you are. Somebody will buy a good present for your child, and you will say, oh, very good, like that of that other race. No, you deserve it. Even you as a black, as a white, as an Arab, your child deserves it. When you start speaking like it is you, you have sonship, you have belonging, then the hatred has gone. Toning down the hatred, coming out of our language diets. The problem is one, the more we talk and talk and talk, we become angry in our families. Then it gets into our heart. We are an angry society. Suicides and homicides Has your spouse spoken to you about how she will or he will kill themselves? It all began in the mind. Arrest it from the mental health angle so that it doesn't come to the heart. The subconscious mind should be guarded, because the more it is said to you, it will get into your subconscious mind. Tone down the hatred. When you hear people speak hate, let it flow away. Don't allow it to sink. Don't allow propaganda, social media hate, negative politics, tribalism, racism. Don't allow these things to create a nest inside your heart. Because these are the things that will build up slowly into anger and all the negative emotions that will eventually end in hatred. Painful emotion. Butterflies about tomorrow. You are not so sure. Let me assure you that the earth is here for you. This earth was formed for you. You have a right on this earth. Humanity is there for you. You are one amongst the 8 billion. You are to guard the 8 billion, and the 8 billion are to guard you. Even if no one was to guard you around you, the earth will guard you, because it has oxygen for you, it has water for you, it has all the nutrients that you need. Stay alive. Hatred will move you into suicide. Stay alive. Don't die before you are dead. All men will die. All humanity will die, but not all of us will live. When you are moving in hatred, you are dead. Love demands that you give yourself space in this world. You say, I have a right to be alive. I have a reason to be alive. For the sake of humanity, I will stay alive. Don't hate yourself. Don't hate others. Work hard on the journey of your soul. Bring out the positive aspects of your spouse, of your colleagues at work, of the other tribe, of the other race. Look at their positive aspects. The more you feed on their positive aspects, the more the negativity in them will die on the inside of you. Surely they have something special that they're giving to you. Just work hard and deal with the society. Build bridges, build friendships. You need it for business. You need it for your own health, physical health, so that you don't move into blood pressure, heart attacks, so that you don't get disease that comes out of stress and pressure. Self-loathing is dangerous for physical health. Self-hatred is dangerous for physical health. Tone down. There is love in store for you. Let me encourage you to get out and do something for others. Get out. Just go out there and clothe somebody that needs clothing. Get out there and visit a prisoner. Hug somebody out there that is out of love. Visit a children's home. When you feel like you don't want to get up, all you are looking forward to is getting into bed. And in the morning, you don't want to wake up. You are in the danger of self-hatred. Depression, mental health issues can be overcome by getting out there and doing something. Get out there, give out what you need. Visit a children's home, visit a prison, visit a hospital. Get into your social media and blog something to encourage somebody. when you give out what you need so badly, it will come out, it will come back to you. And I'm done. And I am done for today. Let me hope that I've shared some love. I wish you love and happiness. Peace I leave to you until I see you again on the Treasures of Life show. My name is Jonas Simba. Bye-bye.